That action shot is amazing.
Alright, I have kicked us off. I am receiving data. It says that we have an excellent connection, but I can't see us yet. It just tells me that YouTube hasn't caught up. I've kicked us off. I am receiving data. It says that we have an excellent connection, but I can't see us yet. It just tells me that YouTube hasn't caught up. I've kicked us off. I am receiving data. It says that we have an excellent connection, but I can't see us yet. It just tells me that YouTube hasn't caught up. I've kicked us off. I am receiving data. It says that we have an excellent connection, but I can't see us yet. It just tells me that YouTube hasn't caught up. I've kicked us off. I am receiving data. It says that we have an excellent connection, but I can't see.
It looks like we're live on.
Yeah, we
YouTube.
are live. We're doing well. Welcome if you guys are here and watching. This is the Studio Prey pre-show. This is where, because I am in no way a perfect professional with this kind of stuff, I work out all the bugs for everyone to see who gets here early. Aren't you lucky people? We will be officially kicking off in about 2 minutes.
There we go.
So, hello team, how are you guys doing this month? This whole month, how have you been?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
We are in the process of unpacking. Welcome to my office. I'm currently sitting on a futon because I don't have a desk and a desk chair yet.
It is an office in progress, an OIP.
And what the rest of the room looks like right now.
Oh wow, so this has gone from a live stream pre-show to hoarders. Oh, the luck. Oh, wow.
Oh. Well, I don't have a desk yet, so I have nowhere to put the desk stuff.
I see.
But,
I see. And does this spark joy?
Order the desk tonight. The desk will spark joy.
Yes.
Oh.
There's your absolutely winning humor.
Oh yeah.
Play once again says.
Absolutely winning.
Throwing a stapler at you would spark joy.
Yes, but me receiving a concussion from the impact of the stapler would not spark joy. We have to think about, beyond one step here.
Oh man, my view is amazing though. I'm gonna show everybody the view if I can.
Oh, that is lovely.
You got the hills in the background.
Wow, guys,
The other day, it was.
We already have 5 people watching. But anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted. Please go ahead.
The other day it was foggy up on the hill past noon, and it was really pretty.
Oh, lovely. Well, the hour has struck. The time is upon us. Welcome to the Studio Prey Thanksgiving Week live stream. I am your host of dubious talent, Rebecca Mickley. I am joined by those raucous reptilian renegades, Kath, the dragon. Thank you
and
for that
apparently a ringtone.
Yes.
Got the dragon with the alarms going off because I have medication. I'm supposed to take them to take it after the show.
We're all grateful that you're medicated, sis.
Medicated for your protection.
Yes, indeed. And of course, besides Kath the Dragon, our editor-in-chief, our wonderfully talented editor-in-chief, we have the eternal intern, Bones and Hot Sauce herself, Maya Sora. Say hello, Maya Sora. Stop blushing for 2 seconds if you can.
You just It just happens. What can I say?
There is a
You're
glow
cute.
to the east. It is Maya. She rises like the sun.
All right then, Romeo.
All right, and she's turning redder. All of you people watching, all 5 of you people watching, my goodness, we're popular this week, this month.
At least 2 of
Reveal.
those are us, though. So.
Probably,
I'm
yes.
pretty sure one of those is me, so.
Well, you know. I get to think that we're popular until you guys, as always, pop my balloon. It's just like in my manuscripts. I think this is good. It's crap. Okay, I'll rewrite it.
It's not so much it's crap, it's just it's not Scottish.
Oh, I see. Nice reference.
That's that's probably one of the only ones I'll be able to make.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know, it's like I worked really hard on this. It's crap. Never mind. And we are actually joined by Travis Moore. Travis Moore is a new reader. He's currently going through Dawnbreak, so please, everyone, no spoilers. We send our condolences.
That's what I was about to say.
Just send us the invoice for the therapy afterward.
Oh. Oh, fun, 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 fun. Actually, so
Travis, just imagine the Hellraiser gif. We have such sights to show you.
going to make me spit out my tea. That's terrible.
I mean, it's true. There's so much to see.
Yes, and speaking of which, this is his copy of Exile's Return. Travis Moore's copy of Exile's Return. This is actually
Nice.
Travis Moore's copy of Exile's Return because he got in touch with me the other day and said, I just ordered all your books. Great. You know, I like eating. Eating's a thing that I do. It's fun.
Eating is good.
Yeah, it's great fun. And it's nutritious and delicious and all of these things, you know. I mean, Amazon only sends me so many proofs to chew on, and then I'm on my own. And and he said, but the problem is that Exile's Return is not available. And I went, oh crap. Because Exile's Return was supposed to be available by July. The 3rd edition printing, the unborked, cat blessed, you know, printing with all the good changes. And, you know, we had the priest come in and do the exorcism, all of those things. But then
I mean, I could have saved you some effort and just done that myself.
Yeah, I know, but you know, there's a process, you know, tradition, you go through this. I mean, you're young enough, but we had to find an old priest too, you know, because you need an old priest and a young priest. But anyway.
Yeah, but if you want to be really traditional, the old priest has to have a heart attack.
I suppose so. That's why we have Dawnbreak.
True.
And Kat, don't forget to take your meds.
It's the second alarm to make sure that I don't forget to take my meds. There will be a third one at 5 o'clock.
We better hurry. But as a result, oh look, Shimon is here. Shimon, it's wonderful to have you back here. He's one of our Ilarian supporters. But
welcome to the live stream.
Welcome.
as we were getting ready to publish Exile's Return, my father took ill. I had to go to Texas. There are just an immense amount of things happened. I got back the 1st of October. I still haven't slowed down. We were getting Whispers ready to come out. It's just one thing happened after another, and suddenly, oops, this kind of fell off the side. But we already had the art, thanks to the wonderfully talented Cadmium T. We had the editing, thanks to the wonderfully talented and wonderfully talented Cat Luck and Maya Sora. And so it was just a matter of pushing it through Amazon. Hello, Finley. It's nice to have you here. I can actually, like this new control room, I can actually see who's coming in. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about like multiple windows. But it is now available. So the Farthest Star series, book 1, 2, and 3, that's Dawnbreak, Exile's Return, and Rise of the Forgotten, are available through Amazon.com. They make wonderful gifts for your friends and enemies for the holiday season. Share the trauma with someone you love or hate this holiday season. Stuff my book in their stocking, and if you don't like them, well, they've got some good hats too. No, that's not correct. We don't condone violence at Studio Prey. We just laugh at it heartily when it happens in front of us.
We don't officially condone violence. Unofficially, it's a little negotiable sometimes.
Unofficially, it's a little fun. Sometimes just a little fun.
And this is why you employ dragons, but you live at least 1,000 miles away from them, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wait till I come and visit.
Fear. Panic.
You poor
The
thing.
noise. The smell. Something was here. Run. Flee. Have to get away.
Well played.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Very.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure you can take her.
Oh, probably. Most definitely.
Is my audio channel quiet to anybody else out there?
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
I can hear you fine.
I'll wait for the stream to catch up and let me know. But anyway, Exile's Return, now available. The Farthest Star series, up to book 3, now available in paperback.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out at Amazon.com. Let's see here. Ghosts of the Nightmare Gods should be coming soon. Now that would be an interesting Christmas gift. Beyond that, Whispers Beyond the Veil is currently releasing on the website for our Patreon subscribers in the Final Draft Club.
Do you know when it will be on Amazon?
It should be on Amazon by January the 1st.
Cool.
With a paperback edition coming out around the 16th of January. And beyond that, also in January, the moment you've all been waiting for, Farthest Star. Cat, is it done yet?
No.
Why?
Because I moved.
You should do that occasionally. The Horde, things get stuck and...
Oh. Yeah, if you don't move at least every once in a while, muscles atrophy, and she's just not pretty. But I'm about to order my desk. I'm also ordering some speech-to-text software, which my insurance is actually going to pay for, which should speed things up because I screwed up joints. So I should be able to play with that and work a little bit quicker. And we're going to shoot for end of January, hopefully. But a lot going on, and I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks, end of December, traveling all over the country. But I've got my little Chromebook, and I'll be able to do some work on the road. So we will see how it goes.
Worst case scenario, Farthest Star should be out by March. I
Yes.
know that that's kind of a wide window, January to March, but like Kath has said, Kath has moved. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of movement, a lot of editing. Editing my work is a titanic task in its own right.
Hopefully, Farthest Star will go a little bit quicker than Ghosts and Whispers did.
You said it has been so far.
It's one of your later works. There's a lot less that I have to majorly overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more. The first draft is a lot more rough.
Yeah. I've only gotten through a few chapters, but so far it's much better stuff.
Yeah. And I honestly feel like the quality of my narratives improves with each release. And the thing is, Exile I am immensely proud of, but I'm also immensely proud of the fact that I feel like I've grown since its first release.
Oh yeah, you have.
So
the first edition of Exile was a train wreck.
But an artful train wreck.
I think there's a chapter we actually completely removed in the revision.
Big chunks of some of them. The Great Retcon. Yeah, I mean, Exile's Return, first edition, is a full-on testament to Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong in fun and exciting ways.
I have a signed copy, one of the only paperback editions of the first edition that still exists, with a little note from our brilliant bunny that anytime I feel like anytime I'm not feeling particularly useful, all I have to do is read that.
Yeah, exactly, because you really have made a difference with the manuscript. The differences between the first and third edition are just amazing. So, updates. Hong Kong. You guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not getting as much.
Saw some good news.
Yeah, we've got some good news. It's not being covered as much in the news anymore because the news, in an effort to sell advertising, is always looking for the latest scandal, the latest trauma, the latest storm, whatever, especially
24-hour news cycle.
Exactly. All hail the 24-hour news cycle. But the struggle in Hong Kong continues. The protests have gotten a bit more violent because the police have been escalating as well. They've been abducting people in the middle of the night, dragging them to the Chinese mainland, raping them, drowning them in the bays, all kinds of stuff. And the protesters have responded with bows and arrows, Molotov cocktails, and just every other thing you can imagine in the spirit of 1776, waving American flags the entire way. And we could not be more proud of them for standing up for their rights, because when a government responds with fascism and tyranny, sometimes that's the only way to fight back. By whatever means are necessary. It's always a last resort, but not to get too political, that's one of the reasons why we have the second in this country. It wasn't in case the deer turned tyrannical, it was in case the government did. Anyway, before I get flagged for, any more for flying, there was recently an election. Now, normally, no one pays attention to these elections because Beijing doesn't. They could honestly give a flying flip about what the ruling council of Hong Kong says. It is there to enforce the government's will or be ignored. However, with this pro-democracy movement that's been happening, everyone was kind of looking at this as a litmus test to how much the hoi polloi of Hong Kong were willing to stand behind the pro-democracy protesters. I am happy to report that as of last night, the numbers that I saw, the pro-democracy protesters, out of something like 500 seats, had taken over 262 from having none before, and the pro-Beijing party had only taken 45. They have a clear and simple majority. They were heading towards an overwhelming majority. This is an outstandingly positive development that shows that the majority of the Hong Kong people wish to be free. They wish to be autonomous. The stream is supposedly back up. We are reconnected. We are live. I'm waiting for it to pick back up here.
Refresh my page.
Say something to me.
Hi, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I'm hearing you. Looking at the YouTube, it is buffering.
Okay.
In the process of reestablishing connection.
I just reloaded the stream, and it looks we are not live.
Okay, I'm going to stop the stream and restart it. Okay, I've rebooted the stream. I'm sending the data to YouTube. Thank you, Kath. Let's see. Dog of War is here. Hello, Dog of War. If you can hear me. Guys, let me know if we start getting a feed again.
It looks like we're live to me.
Okay, so yeah, that's scary. I talk about being critical and standing up to the government, and then everything freezes. I'm not paranoid at all.
To be honest, that was my first thought too.
Yeah.
Interesting coincidence.
Very interesting coincidence. To quote V, I, like God, do not play with dice nor believe in coincidences.
There we go. It looks like we're back. I think we're back.
But
welcome back, us.
The thing is that with the results of the current election, there is overwhelming evidence that the people of Hong Kong wish to be free. And the governments of the world should take notice and hold China to account by whatever means are necessary to make them respect the decree of that people. Because as of right now, with this election, it clearly shows that Hong Kong is essentially an island under occupation. And we're not going to drop this at Studio Prey. I'm going to continue every month bringing you guys brief updates, at the very least in the live stream. The news might forget, but we are not going to forget. To the people of Hong Kong that have watched the stream last time, when you happen to watch this again, I know that there's a time zone thing. We stand with you, and we stand against the Chinese government as they attempt to crush you.
And we will continue to do so for as long as it takes.
Yes, indeed. Free Hong Kong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would be worried too.
Shimon. Oh yeah. Shimon has a family in Hong Kong. I did not know this.
Yep. He's a native Aussie, but his family is international. They're also the
Mhm.
very best of people. You will find
Well,
no one
I
better than Shimon and his tribe, let me tell you.
well, I hope they're all safe.
I
Yes,
hope so
indeed.
too.
But anyway, moving on from the more stressful business that might have gotten our
Mhm.
stream purged. Uh, that was just, I'm sorry, that was freaky.
Yeah, that was
That.
a little uncomfortable for it to be a coincidence. Um,
Mhm.
Certainly derailed the topic for a couple of minutes.
Definitely, but we got right back on track. We're not slowing down and we aren't going to be stopped or intimidated because
I
we've
know.
got a great example of people that are enduring so much more
Hmm.
and they're still holding to their values and they're still shining brightly. So,
And we're stubborn as hell.
Oh yeah, it's a character trait.
yes, it is. And all of us. Um, Hares and rabbits are eternally stubborn and eternally pissed. This comes from being the world's dinner.
True. True.
It's not unreasonable. Um, yeah, so moving on to our next topic, the PCT.
Yes, the PCT, the other reason why some of the work has slowed down, I have recently heard from the Pacific Crest Trail Association. They have approved my permit application. I have been given a start date of March the 20th, and
Mhm.
hedging my bets, I am planning on being done at the very latest by October.
Mhm.
That is a 2,640-mile through hike starting in Campo, California, ending at the Canadian US border. It
And then,
is
like a week and a half after you get home, we're going to Paris.
That's the plan. One of the members of our extended spirit family is getting married,
Hmm.
and we are going to be able to be on deck to wish them well should money, finances, time, the stars, all of that align. But so far, so good. Uh, I am in the process of planning a through hike, finishing up acquiring gear, going to the gym 2 hours a day to train because you kind of need to.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. You're going to need a hell of a lot of endurance for this to go every day. You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
And, yep, I have what's called the Daily 8, which is an 8-mile run.
Hmm.
And on Thursday, it's the Thursday 10 day, which is the 10-mile run. And that's not to my credit. That's me trying to be able to get on the trail and actually finish the thing, right?
Hmm.
Because as
Mhm.
hard as it is to haul myself out of bed at 12:30 at night and train until like 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, hiking 15 miles a day over rough terrain for 6 months at a time is going to be much harder.
Yes.
Mhm.
So,
And I look forward to hearing your updates from the trail.
mhm.
And while you are walking all day, I will be uh, having for sure finished and had farthest star ready to publish. I will move on to the next thing and have a couple of things ready for your review by the time you get back and settled. Have an opportunity. Uh, what are we gonna publish next after Farthest Star?
Sins of the Solar Republic.
Which we could probably get out in November of next year, so about a year from now.
Yes, that's more than possible. Depending on how the editing goes. We might be doing actually concurrent releases at the end of the year to make up for the longer silence. That
Mm-hmm.
is, we might be doing Sins of the Solar Republic and the Farthest Star Universe and the Golden Tower or
Mm-hmm.
the
Mhm.
Reforged or Space Station Z. in another universe.
I will have
Exciting.
my part of both of those done by the time you get off the trail. So we will be able to release both at once if we want to.
And schedule permitting, I should be following behind.
Cool.
Falling behind with those. Again, schedule permitting. Right now, I'm about 2.5 weeks out of finals. So
there's absolutely
right
no
now
excuse then for you to not be working with Kath then on Farthest Star. It's just your education. You're paying them.
I mean, do you want to see the almost $1,500 payment I had to make today?
Oh, ouch!
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Ow.
Yeah.
Matthew Petery is here. He is a very talented wood carver and another person I know that has decided to come and see what this is all about, to witness the madness firsthand. Matt, it's wonderful to have you here. If
Hi,
you
Matt.
want to check out his creations, be sure to look at Odin's Beard Woodworking, primarily on Facebook.
Put the link in the chat for everybody.
Alrighty. Matt, if you can, you probably have that more on the bounce than I do. I'm currently set up for stream. But please feel free.
Shameless plug for a fellow artist.
Oh, absolutely. He's amazingly talented. I have a pocket altar that he made. Kat's seen it. Of my person
really
in the
well
other
done.
room, or I'd show you, of my patron goddess Aostre. And
how dare everything you need not be right at hand when you didn't know you were going to need it?
You know, I've been working on my psychic powers, but I didn't drink enough green tea today, and you know, it's just one of those things that happens. Normally,
precognition's just shot.
Normally, I caffeinate enough to see beyond the realms of space and time, but you know, I've been cutting back. I've been going to bed early, training. You know how that goes. And so yeah. But anyway, seriously, check out Odin's Beard Woodworking on Facebook. Absolutely incredible artist. Absolutely incredible person to work with. Oh, can't post links. I will do it. Just a second here while I get creative. Watch me navigate my computer. This is riveting stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Very exciting.
Yes, indeed. See with deftness as she manipulates the web pages.
Watch me wiggle, watch me dance.
Watch me juggle, watch me dance. There we go.
Why do I always think it's watch me wiggle?
I
think it's a reread Dawnbreak. Wow.
And there's the link in the chat.
Yes.
And Matt, I think we're all doing pretty good. I know I'm doing good. I love my new house.
Seriously, he carved my pocket altar, and he was absolutely amazing then. You should see what he's been up to lately. I'm not the only one that's gotten better with time. You know, and like I said, absolutely incredible when I ordered from him. So I mean, it's absolutely amazing how his art has progressed. Matt, I'm doing okay. I'm pretty happy. We're getting caught up. It's one of those stressful weeks. It's Thanksgiving. So remember, guys, on Wednesday after 2 a.m., be sure to set your scales back at least 15 pounds.
I'll also keep in mind that if you're counting calories, calories don't count on Thanksgiving.
True.
Well, like, let me tell you, I have felt so much stress because, you know, this is neither here nor there applying to the holiday, but I'm a vegan. And the thing is that is a wonderful out when you are, training, watching your calories, all of that, because, oh, I'm sorry, there's only so much I can eat. I'm sorry that pie isn't vegan. All of these wonderful foods I can look at, but cannot eat, and all of that. It's a great excuse. It keeps me honest. I have my little, tofu turkey and all of that, just a little bit of it. And, I'm happy. Life is great, right? Well, my mother-in-law, God's bless her, um, she calls me. She has this 20-minute conversation with me about what I can eat, what I can't eat, how to identify things, all of this, right? I mean, she's just like, I can just see her with the pen and paper taking notes, right? I mean, this woman loves me. It's just apparent. And now she's talking about candied yams with vegan marshmallows and vegan pies that they're making and all of this. And I'm like going, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to eat for a week after Thursday.
Well, she's really sweet. That's really awesome. It's
Yeah.
You're gonna gain 10 pounds and then have to drop it, but
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's
It'll
like,
at least
I mean, she's
It'll at
being
least
really
taste
sweet,
good.
and you're gonna have to eat the stuff because she's making it for you.
yes, her and her daughter have started work today making stuff for me. And
Aww.
That's cool.
I'm floored. I'm overwhelmed. I feel terrified.
Yep. I am going to be spending Thanksgiving with my parents and siblings. And they are providing all of the food, and I have been told not to make anything, which is fantastic because, my favorite, I love to cook, but my favorite food is anything I didn't have to make.
Your vegan cinnamon bun pancakes were freaking incredible.
Those were damn good. They were, kind of like a Pinterest fail. They did not look anything like the pretty photos in the recipe book.
They didn't have to.
I gotta say, those were really good. And I there's a lot of vegan food that I really enjoy. Generally, vegan substitute kind of stuff, like vegan blank, vegan bacon, vegan any meat product. If it's pretending to be something that it's not, I don't like almost any of them. But those pancakes were amazing.
Oh, they were. They were truly amazing. But I think it's largely because they weren't trying to be anything, like they weren't trying to mimic something. They were just ingredients that happened to be vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So long as you start trying to mimic something, then you're just wholly missing you're just always going to miss them.
Well, the pancakes did involve some things like a vegan butter substitute that I think was nut based.
But at that point,
that actually turned out really good.
That's just using like
oil.
Yeah, that's just using a different form of a fat or something in place of it.
Usually, my methods for cooking vegan for folks who come and visit is things like making stir fries. Really good with lentils. Do not require anything that's not vegan.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, the spaghetti is good. I do a spaghetti that involves hamburger or occasionally sausage, but I can also do the exact same recipe with eggplant, and it turns out really good.
It was really wonderful. I enjoyed it.
The bean
But
soup I made was not as good. I was not happy with that.
the hell you say? I thought it was spectacular. Especially after like an 8-hour flight.
It was not my best work. It needed more of something, and I'm not sure what.
I liked it. But anyway, that's a battle for another time. Let's see here. We have talked about Hong Kong, book releases, our release schedule, the PCT. Oh yes, Patreon. Help me pay for the PCT. Help me feed myself. Help me pay Maya and Kath because they are worth more than I could ever pay them even if I was a billionaire. Please go to patreon.com/StudioPray and consider joining. For $2 a month, shameless plug, you get access to the Final Draft Club, which gives you early access to all new releases before it's on Amazon. Other perks to follow in our $6 and $10 tiers. But honestly, you can share with me as much as you want. If you win the lottery, think of me. Beyond that, we're getting into the holiday season. Holiday season is a stressful time for a lot of people with their mental health. Stay strong, guys. Make sure that you've got your support network on the balance. Make sure that you're taking your meds. Make sure that you're engaging in good self-care. It's okay to withdraw if you need to. It's okay to take time for yourself. I say this as someone with a rampaging anxiety disorder that is barely kept in check by Boost Barone and a wonderful support group of people that includes these two lovely ladies that you see on the screen next to me.
And that, I think, is the most important part. Remember your support people, whoever you've got around you that is available to talk to. The holidays are stressful. Facing that stress together is a lot easier than trying to bottle it up and face it alone. There can be a temptation to feel like, if you admit that you're struggling, you're ruining other people's holiday, and that's not true. If you've got good people around you, they're not having fun if you're not having fun, and they want you to be okay. So keep that in mind. And most of the people who are going to be watching this know us personally, and reach out if you need to. Like, we are here. Studio Prey is a family, and all of our readers are part of that family.
Yes. Even if I don't know you, if you've been traumatized by my work, you're in the club. There is never a time where if I even just get an email from someone telling me, hi, you don't know me, but I just needed to vent to someone, I will read, I will listen, I will do my best to respond, and if I do not have answers, I will do my best to refer you to people that do. You are important. Remember that it is okay to have boundaries, and it is okay to enforce those boundaries. Now, I'm not talking like take a nightstick and go Beijing police on people. I'm saying it's okay to say, this isn't working for me right now. I need to step back, etc., etc., etc. Got a little serious on you again. Took a random right turn, but I felt that it needed to be said because it's the holidays. It's one of the most stressful times of the year. And like right
We're
now,
in that time of year.
Look at me right now. I've got the gym. I've got editing. I'm writing Starfall. I'm visiting family. I'm trying to financially, mentally, physically, and emotionally prepare for a hike. I am applying for a passport. I
need to do that too.
It's just like, if there was any other thing that I could cram into my life right now, I think it would just go boom.
That's gonna be a pain. I gotta go get a passport too. I just do not. I don't even have and state ID. So I've got to take care of all of that.
Fun. I just got done with that. Rebecca Mickley is now a pen name. And I just went through that whole fun process. I'm still going through that fun process with some entities like my bank. Let me tell you. Change your name, they said. It'll be fun, they said. This is how many cards they've sent me in the last month, and they are all incorrect.
That is ridiculous.
There's
I had trouble with my insurance when I did my name change. And I had trouble with a couple of other places. And the thing that I learned, anybody out there who's having a name change, the one of the primary aspects of the process is going to court, and they give you a court order with your new name on it. And then you go to Social Security and all those other places. And the thing about court orders is that violation of a court order can lead to being held in contempt of court, which is jail time, frequently with no limit, which means if any entity fails to change your information when you tell them to, you send them a copy of the court order and you tell them, this is a court order. If I have to hang up this phone without having resolved this issue, my next phone call will be to the county courthouse, and I will use your name specifically, and you'll most likely be held in contempt of court, and they will put you in jail until you do this. So those are your choices.
And this is why you don't cross the dragon, ladies and gentlemen.
It has never failed to be effective for me. So give that a shot.
Oh my goodness! So we're getting a lot of activity in the chat right now. Matthew is telling me that he has a mental health support group. So if you want to know more about that, reach out to him. He'll I'm sure be happy to give information for the holidays, especially, and just in general. Finley is saying that she's going to be supporting us on Patreon, which you're a total sweetheart for it. Thank you.
Just thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Much.
And Shimon, who is also a current Patreon supporter, is in table flipping mode because his work has him doing a branding brief for a $4 billion company all by himself.
Wow.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's fun. By all means, flip some tables. Preferably onto whoever made that decision.
And but that's the thing. It's like fun. But anyway, we've got about 45 minutes.
I agree with Dog of War. Intimidating government peons is the word that she used. It's fun. I have strong feelings about bureaucracy. I'm not a fan of people who have the ability to sign a piece of paper and fix your problems and don't do it.
That's fair. And it's like, not to get too political, I don't have a problem with government. I don't have a problem with the fact that there are rules and regulations and things like that. I have a problem with unnecessary rules, unjust laws, and ineffective and oppressive regulation. Everything in moderation. Seriously, I am not some like burn it all down anarchist. It's just
believe that to me.
There are rules that benefit us all, and then there are rules that can enslave us all, and we have to find the balance between the two.
All things in moderation, including moderation.
And Dog of War, I think I know who that is.
Fenley Kat is absolutely the person to talk to about the name change process. I haven't gotten mine done yet. That should be, I should be getting the gears in motion in the next few days once I'm home for the holidays. And that should hopefully be done by the end of the year, if not
Awesome.
very soon, the beginning of next year. Kat is absolutely the person to talk to.
Right. Well, if you need help with that, let me know and I'll look into the regulations for your state. It varies from state to state. My experience is all Florida with name change, but the bureaucracy in and of itself is pretty much the same everywhere. Real quick tip, thing that tripped me up the most when I did mine, don't try to mail anything. Take paperwork into the courthouse yourself and hand it to people. One of the things that happened when I did my name change is I filled out all the paperwork and I mailed it, and they told you that they preferred to have it mailed so that there's that post date stuff. And then a month later, I reached out to somebody because I had heard absolutely nothing. They were supposed to call me to set a court date. And I found out that they never received the paperwork.
Never.
And knew that it was coming. I had reached out to somebody before I started. They knew to expect it, and did not follow up when it failed to arrive, but told me not to contact them.
Don't call us, we'll call you kind of thing.
Some counties have a policy with things like that of, if you call us, you're wasting our time and tying up our lines, and we will put you at the back of the line. So I didn't for a month, and found out that they just decided not to call me when the paperwork never showed up. So I had to do the paperwork again, and I did it while I was standing in the courthouse and turned it in.
Have a good one, Shimon.
Bye.
And
Good
hello,
luck.
Reluctant Warrior. It's nice to have you here. Don't worry about being late. You missed all the fun, but that's what the back button is for. You can kind of scroll back and watch the madness. And that's excellent advice, Kat. I'm going to brag on you for a moment, if that's okay, about your activities in Florida.
Okie doke.
Kat is the founder of Strive, which is a transgender and gay, lesbian, bisexual outreach in Florida, specifically Pensacola. She spearheaded an advocacy organization, built it up from nothing, and it has become a very successful vehicle for advocacy and support. Even though she unfortunately had to step down a few years ago because of health reasons.
Yep. We did a housing program, medical advocacy, some employment help and advocacy. We helped people do name changes. We raised money to pay for people's name changes a couple of times. Did a lot of stuff like that. The organization is still working, still doing their fundraisers. I understand their housing program has been significantly expanded since I was there by a longtime friend of mine who's running the organization now.
Awesome people.
So that all still exists, and I'm really proud to have been involved in it. And of course, I'm proud to be involved in this too. And now I have a job where I get to sit at home on a computer, and I don't have to coordinate events that nobody shows up to.
Now the only person that she shouts at and berates at through her phone and internet connection is me.
Oh, there's minimal berating.
Minimal.
Mostly snark.
Mostly snark, yes, indeed. The snark is strong with this one.
About 90% snark, I think. That's just from a semi-outside perspective.
I just love the comments like, "Oh, Snowy, what am I ever going to do with you?" Yeah, it's just like this whole section. What the heck? Yeah.
Most of mine just tend to read along the lines of like, oh, that's a lot of asses, or oh boy, comma city, look at that.
Yeah,
go.
With Maya, I do constantly work my ass off, but
I think that my most common comment overall in the manuscripts is not a sentence. This is not a sentence, and this is not a sentence. This is almost a sentence.
Yeah.
This is too much sentence. It's a run-on at a period.
Yeah. It's like, this is a run-on sentence. It's running on so much, it ends with, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret."
We do have fun.
That was an awful joke.
That was terrible.
Yes. I also love the bits where I have to ask you what word this was supposed to be.
What was it the other day? Was it surveilling? Silhouetting. Silhouetting.
Silhouette, that's what it was.
Yes. Oh my God! It was like I think Speedy here is missing my idiomatic speech, and Kat would be like, "That's because it needs to be spelled correctly." Oh.
And you know, that was actually one that I missed when I did my first pass. For some reason, I failed to see that one. And I'm not sure how I did that, because when I reread it, it took me a minute to figure out what the word was supposed to be.
Most likely just trauma.
Which was why they had trouble figuring out what the word was supposed to be, and were very confused by that sentence that didn't mean anything.
So it's like,
but we got it fixed.
You know, seriously, going through my work is like watching a UFC fighting tournament sometimes with a 3-drink minimum.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that was still one of the manuscripts that you wrote under the influence.
That's just about everything I've written up until the Hillsong Chronicles, which Maya assures me is the worst thing I've ever written.
It's rough. It's really rough. I made it to halfway, 3/4 of the way through the second book.
And you know, that's why you should just say yes to drugs. Nothing screws up your writing like sobriety. Terrible
it requires joke. once we get once we get Farthest Star, the Farthest Star universe, and Ghost of the Nightmare Gods, or the Nightmare Gods series, once we get those like really nice and polished, really think we should just all go in and take a look at Hillsong and have a nice little like sit down intervention style meeting and be like, so what was the idea here?
The thing is, speaking in all honesty, sobriety for me was something that I had to do. It honestly was. Hillsong was something that I wrote while I was in recovery from my anxiety disorder being so severe and debilitating that I was unable to leave the house. And and so and the quality of the manuscript is and my mental state at that time is honestly a reflection of where I was, and which was not good.
That particular trilogy represents the period between quitting the pot and not having any other medication. So that's why it's rough, because it is really difficult to focus when you're in that place, when you're completely unmedicated.
Yeah. Well, a doctor
And like,
put me on marijuana in 2013 because of
Mm-hmm.
a successive stint of traumas and traumatic experiences that inflamed an underlying anxiety disorder and a few other things. And what's it called? And at first, it was a wonderful answer for me. But the problem was that things continued to be very difficult in my life, and I continued to struggle with some of those things that
Mm-hmm.
had happened to me, and it got to the point where it went from being a very helpful medication to something that was maladaptive. And when it became maladaptive, thank the gods that I had the family support and a level of insight, literally thanks be to the gods, that
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I needed to quit. I did quit pretty much cold turkey. I said I'm not going to do it anymore, and I never went back to it because for most people, grass is not physically addicting, it's mentally addicting. You get addicted to the way
Mm-hmm.
that it makes you feel. And so if you really want to quit it, generally, now this is not the case 100% of the time, you can. And then I did one of the hardest things that I've ever done. I went back to my doctor and I said, my anxiety disorder is out of control. It's severely impacting my life. I feel like I'm actively losing my ability to deal with it. I need to explore more treatment options than what I've been doing. And let me tell you, I've never been more scared than I
Mm-hmm.
was going into that appointment. Saying those things, admitting that you need help really is one of the hardest things that you will
It's
ever
really
do.
hard. I
And
was really impressed with your self awareness and willingness to do those things that you needed to do, and I'm glad that this bar is working.
and you know, I wouldn't have been able to do it without you, Kat. You really were there for me and you really helped me. I didn't know you then, Maya, but I'm sure you would have been there just as much.
of
Um,
course.
but over the next 3 months, as I adapted to medication, I was able to slowly get a handle on more and more things. And now, for the first time in 7 years, I'm driving. I just drove all across
Mm-hmm.
the country. I'm getting out of the house. I'm going on the PCT. What initially started as something that was incredibly hard for me has turned into one of the more positive experiences of my life because it's opened the door
Mm-hmm.
for me to really start living again and not just existing. And that's why I made such a hard right turn suddenly and was like, it's the holidays, focus on your mental health, everyone, because
Yeah,
oh gods,
Mm-hmm.
do I feel it. The phone
yeah,
rings and my
it's
my
important
heart
and it's
rate
hard for
jumps
all
to
of
80
us.
points.
Yeah, I have a complicated relationship with the holidays myself, so I'm there too, and I think it was helpful that when you went through needing to change what you were doing to manage your anxiety, that it wasn't too long after I had been there myself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there was a time in my life that I didn't have insurance or access to medical care, and I was self-medicating with alcohol and other things because alcohol is a really shitty painkiller, but it's better than nothing sometimes when you have chronic pain. Uh, until it stops being better than nothing, which it did. And I finally got insurance and got on medication and no longer needed that and just stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm. And like that's honestly the thing. After recovering, I'm in the process of recovery still. Anxiety is a daily battle, and there are good days and there are bad days, and there are days where I cannot and I do not function well. And that will probably be the way that it always is, because I have a severe generalized anxiety disorder, among other issues. But after Hillsong and the train wreck that it was, because it was written during a period of intense recovery and growth, I went on to write Space Station Z and The Reforged and The Golden Tower and Beyond the Dark Horizon and currently Starfall. And while in some ways creating is harder, I can honestly say with confidence that I am now producing better work than I ever have.
You really are.
And so.
And when I say that Hillsong really doesn't seem like your work, that's because I've only known you for a year now. Like, pretty sure it was about this time last year that we met. Going and reading Hillsong does not seem like the Snowy I know.
Because
so
I wasn't the person that I am now then. But
we've all come a long way.
Yeah, there's hope on the other side of it. There is hope when you stand up and get help. I wasn't expecting the stream to quite go in such a heavy direction. I was like, this will be a quick stream, like 30 minutes, when we were getting on. We're pushing past an hour now.
An hour later, yeah.
But there is hope out there towards the farthest star. You just gotta reach for it, kiddos, Man, we're just crossing all kinds of universe borders there.
Yep. It's good though. I like that.
It was a good one.
But I guess
when you're getting advice from Snow and Busy at the same time.
It's a crazy, crazy world out there. But I guess that's probably a pretty good place to leave it.
I think it is.
For all of you guys in America and abroad that are celebrating Thanksgiving, because, while it's usually pretty much an American holiday, I know that there are people that probably celebrate it because they're expats or whatever. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. And you have a wonderful holiday season. Our next live stream will be probably right around the Yuletide, right around solstice. All hail the return of the light.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, and stay good and stay healthy, everyone. Onward towards the farthest star.
Bye.